Hello, my name is Shadley, and welcome back for another episode of HoI 3 in Black Ice mod as People's Republic of China. So, in previous episode we managed to actually form a bit of a pocket over here. The enemy did push us further away in Indochina though, and they did manage to get on our side of the river, at least for now. Now, they haven't pushed any further in. We've got the area stopped or blockaded in such a way that they can't just march through here around us. And we are going to be getting some reinforcements very shortly in the form of the naval divisions in here. That's hopefully going to help at least a little bit. We're trying to hold on to Pakshe, although it's a bit easier said than done. Over here we are, well, that's got to be a victory at least. I can almost guarantee that much. I might go ahead and send the other naval infantry over there as well. I suppose if they don't have it in, yeah, we'll go around the safe path. So we're doing bombing runs on Harbin, there we go, so we are hopefully going to break through there eventually. There's a little bit of damage, it's mostly the urban combats are really difficult without air support. So now that we've got some air support in here, that should make a bit of difference at least. Plus we're doing also a little bit of ground attacks along the way here as well, so it's not just Harbin that we are bombing. Hopefully we can at least gain some more ground there. We've got the mercenary infantry that can push in. We'll send the light infantry over there, and then I suppose this could actually get over here, so we maybe get back to the river line at least. That should be a little bit easier to hold on to at least, for sure. So that's the current plan. We have surrounded the enemy. They haven't started doing any counter attacks yet. We're getting more troops in here, so we can maybe push back the enemy even further away. We'll just let them stay there. It's going to take a little while, I reckon, before we empty that. Hey, light cruiser advance. There we go. So we can go ahead and put in the light cruiser armament underway. I suppose we should also get the heavy cruiser armament researching at some point. Of course, we've got way too many research underway right now. 245 out of the 48 that we can research. Not exactly ideal. Oh, air ally is under attack. Well, it's attacking from Qinghe. And it's not really going to get very far, I reckon. So that's kind of an easy victory for us. There's a few more days for the naval infantry. We're doing the bombing runs over here. Oh, there we go. Victory air ally. So, lost less than 100. They lost 600. So, not massive casualties in there, but there's one unit attacking anyway. So, that doesn't make much of a difference then, in the grand scheme of things. But one of the things that we do need to do is we need to get rid of the supplies over here in Comintern. But to be fair, can we actually... Oh, we can reach there from here. Okay, so once we take in Harbin, hopefully. Do we have anyone else that could join in the combat? Not really. So we've got one unit that is currently attacking, and that's about it. Then we'll go ahead and send Taz over here to join that fight. Oh, and there we go. Victory at Danang. We held our ground, so in that case, actually, the light infantry can probably stay in the jungle for now, so it can go whichever way is needed. We got a bit of lack of fuel in here, and it's actually not that bad of a situation there right now. If need be, we could send this one back to Akshay. They are down to 5 units attacking now, and if we get some more reinforcements in there, we can probably reduce them even further. They got a little bit more troops in from HoI. We won't actually get through there anytime soon. Oh, there's a lot of French units in here. Right, and air ally is under attack again, I believe by that same division actually. Go ahead and send in another light infantry division over here on the hills. So we'll have several divisions holding back the enemy, at least for now. Of course, the intercept, or not the intercept, there's a close air support over here. I could use a bit of rest. Oh, Victory Ninja. The enemy took quite a bit of casualties in there. Let's go ahead and see if we can't push them back. I don't know if they run out of organization. Hey, Dapnur was a victory. Ooh, 1,700 losses for us. They lost 12,000. That's not too shabby. Oh, yeah, we can push them back from there. Mardianzi is now under attack by several units. We got some reinforcements heading in there. And it's mostly attacks from here, across the river. So they got a bit of a river crossing penalty from there already. And at least Albertus has got quite good modifiers in there, that's for sure. Plus, I suppose, they've got a piercing of 14 and we've got an armor 90, so they can't pierce the armor. So Albertus should be taking a lot less damage overall. It should be like half damage, essentially. Right, there's not too much troops in there. I'm going to go ahead and send the mercenary infantry to attack there. We're going to go maybe send in Kathmandos to attack there as well. If we can break the attack into Cayenne, we can then maybe start doing a bit of counterattack from here as well. So now, how bad is they got 38,000 men there. They got several units, but a lot of them are actually pretty low on organization. So sooner or later, I think some of them will at least stop attacking in here. Then we can start sending in a bit of counterattack. And then we can take HoI back once more. Ooh, well, there we go. We intercepted. Oh, right. So we might actually get wrecked on this combat. Well, I don't know. Doesn't seem like either side was taking all that huge casualties. Hey, Victor Kayon. Just as I suspected. Right, let's go ahead and send these two to join in the attack. And then we could go ahead and send in one of the units over here to give at least support attack. Just so that we can get the envelopment penalty for the enemy. And a lot of the enemy units will start retreating a lot sooner than... Ah, but here's the day that we were waiting for. Get the 2 naval infantry, so those are gonna go to Vin. And then I suppose let's get them some leaders. I think right now... Oh, the trickster is going to be quite handy actually. We'll get the defensive modifier over there. Or the defensive leader. So there we go. We'll let them stay here for a little while to get organization, at least at 10 points or something like that. Then we can maybe go ahead and move one of those into the jungle, and then, first of all, this should probably stay here. And then we'll have one more as a reserve for the time being. Mardianzi is under attack now. They are doing some bombing runs in there. But hopefully we're not taking too much casualties. Or hopefully our interceptors are actually fighting them at some point, but it doesn't seem like it's happening right now. So just a few more days and we'll get another industry. That'll be quite handy. And then in May we'll start getting a lot of planes and some ships. Also, by the end of the month we'll get a full corps of infantry. So I still don't know if we should send those to... I suppose sending more troops to Southern Front might not be that bad of an idea. Did we get the... Okay, we have upgraded the infrastructure in here. So the supply... We can transport 600 through here. I don't know if there's any bottlenecks along the way. I suppose that's a bit of a bottleneck in there. Give that a level. But that's mostly because it's trying to support several units over here, I suppose. Through a very small supply line in there. Oh, actually... Oh, no, it's going through the inland in here. Okay. So it's kind of skipping some of these areas. Oddly enough. But yeah, overall, I'd say the supply situation, at least in the south, is not too bad. And I think in the north, it's manageable as well. Because at least the southern and eastern Manchuria aren't really that bad in terms of supplies, or the infrastructure in there. Right, so we still haven't... Let's actually go ahead and check on Guandian. How bad is the situation in there for them? They're not out of supplies yet. They got the encirclement penalty at least, but that's about it. So we'll just go ahead and stop that for now. They'll probably start now doing counterattacks everywhere. Which means that they'll start losing a bit of organization in the process, hopefully. Although they might not do the counterattacks right. Oh no, they are. They most certainly are. Okay, so this is the infantry tank unit. Luckily, we got piercing on most of these units in here. So they're probably going to be taking pretty hefty casualties, all things considered. Plus, we've got the better tactic right now, so they're not really dealing much damage on us at all. Oh, and there we go. Our interceptors were finally awake enough to go and wreck some of the enemy bombers. Well, there we go. How's the counterattack in here? We're slowly gaining some ground. Ooh, Palang is under attack. Well, we've dug it fairly well. The enemy's got some supply issues in there, so I'm not too worried about that. We've got some troops that will be moving through. Although the naval infantry is probably going to have to retreat soon enough. Well, one of them is going to have to retreat soon enough. We still haven't gotten a lot of organization for the new units there. But at least we got new units, so that's already a good thing. And Albertus defending over here. Well, Albertus and 3 other divisions defending over here should be mostly good. Albertus is already a fairly experienced leader. That could be quite handy. Maybe turning him into a corps commander for like an armored corps or something like that later on. Could be useful. And looks like... Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, this is actually kind of useful. Because it's running out of organization faster than it's running out of strength. So what we can do then is after they lose this combat, we'll start attacking from multiple directions into Guandian, and then we can at least destroy that division entirely. Oh, Jingyan was a victory. I suppose we got a bit of troops over here that could do a bit of counterattack. We'll attack in their house. Okay, so those are in pretty good shape, the enemy division still. There's only one enemy, well, technically speaking, there's 2 enemy divisions in here, but one of them is out of organization, so they won't be able to join into the combat. How's the battle in Harbin going? We did get the mercenary infantry joining in there, but they brought in another unit as well. I'm going to have to retreat that one from the combat. We did get Taz's motorized division into combat as well, so we can still maybe gain some ground there. Also, I wonder, well, I suppose we can't... Oh, well, no, if we take Harbin, then we can maybe clear out this encircle the enemy in under, although it's only a partial division, it's not really a full division, but they are getting reinforcements heading in there. So we won't be able to really clear that out quite yet. This one's at least in pretty good shape. We can bring this one back to Dapnur, and then maybe we can go and use that and some other units to attack into HoI to break the enemies there. But yeah, the enemy infantry tank is looking pretty rough. And Nuncha is now under attack. Okay, so that's... Oh, it's attacking from under. Oh. Well, it did just get the reinforcements in there, to be fair. So it kind of makes sense that they can now afford doing attacks like that. But we are still holding on to the encirclement. Fairly successfully, I would even say. Go ahead and send in another unit over there. And then, I suppose... Oh, there we go. Victor Dandong. Now it's time to do a bit of a counterattack. We'll give a support attack with these two. And then we could probably go ahead and take another two from here and give a support attack. So we'll be attacking from 3 directions. And then if we have a look at the combat. So that one's not going to even be in the combat. As soon as we win the combat, whichever way it goes. Like whether we shatter the enemies or whether they run out of organization and thus surrender. Regardless, that infantry tank unit will be destroyed. Permanently. Unless they manage to open up the pocket one way or the other. Which most likely is not going to happen. But I can't entirely rule that out on the possibilities right now. Go ahead and... I'm actually going to go ahead and send another division over there, holding the mountains for now. The enemies run or down to 1 unit defending in Huadazen. And there we go, we've got a victory in there. We're just going to keep on digging in here for now because they're going to be attacking with another unit soon enough, I reckon. Well, they're doing bombing run in there still. Alright then. Now, how bad is the situation in Pakshe? That naval infantry is going to have to retreat. I'm going to pull that back to Sapone. I believe we've still got some troops heading in there. No, I don't think we actually have right now. We've still got 6 divisions attacking, although that armored division is going to be pushed out fairly shortly. So that's less of a problem. I think we might go ahead and send in the light infantry division around there, just to avoid the combat. No, I'm not going to buy crude oil. Also, how is the situation in... Oh, Iraq is, well, they're split in 2. But Yemen and Saudi Arabia have been clearing out the Arabian Peninsula relatively well still. They reached the lake over here. The name escapes me right now. But anyway, they managed to push in surprisingly well. Turkey is not in any faction. The Soviets have managed to push the Germans back a decent bit. At least they've taken Rosso back. They're still holding on to Crimea as well. And, well, they have lost Bryansk, but they've still held on to Kharkov, Kursk, and Oral. And they're still holding on to Leningrad, although for how long, it's hard to tell. And they have lost Murmansk, so they are losing ground. Norway is still... Well, Germans did manage to get Trondheim, which actually might be worse for the Germans right now, because then the British will be seeing the convoys going there, or allies in general will be seeing the convoys going in there, and thus the German unity will probably be dropping. In Egypt, though, or Libya, the British have managed to push in a decent bit back in there. I'm pretty sure... Wait, no, they were over here at one point, were they? Then they got pushed back by the Africa Corps, so it's probably found a new equilibrium. In East Africa, the Italians are slowly losing more and more ground, but it's very slow advancing in there. Meanwhile, in the Burma front, the Allies have actually managed to push back a little bit, but I think the Japanese are still mostly pushing forward. What about... Oh, right, and they've got eastern half of Java. They got some of the landings in Borneo, but they haven't taken everything yet. And then, I suppose, landing in Philippines is not going all that well. What about any of the landings on the... So there's Wake Island... Okay, yeah, it looks like the Americans have taken at least some islands from the Japanese already. Not all of it, by any means, but at least a little bit. Well, alright then, we've got quite a bit of work to do. Are these in any shape? I suppose it's good enough to start redeploying over there. It won't be able to defend against anything too large, but we can send in the fastest militia over there already to at least keep the enemy at bay for now, and then we can maybe send this one back to... Wait, do we not? No, we don't have anyone at the port there yet. Alright then. When do we get the next garrisons? Okay, in May. So that's not too far off. 2 days we're going to get another industry. We'll also get another oil rig soon enough. And then more industries later on in the month. That's going to be good. And then, of course, the 5 infantry divisions. These are just basic infantry divisions. Nothing fancy in them. So it's just a boots on the ground to hold back the enemy, man the front lines. Ooh, right, and that is... Okay, that one's going to be an easy victory. We already... I think we destroyed one of the units already in here. Yeah, we have. Depth charge. Active advance in the research, so is that... No, it's not ahead of time. We can keep that in there for now. And Finland wanting to buy some metal from me. I mean... Sure, your convoys might not reach here, to be fair, but... As you wish. Right, so battle in air line is still ongoing. We are slowly trying to push into Wanjingmen, but that's probably not going to succeed. Hey, Huadajen was a victory. We actually took 4,000 casualties there to 10,000, so that was surprisingly good. But it might be time for us to... Right, that was a support attack, wasn't it? Yeah. We'll probably go ahead and start attacking in there. We'll take probably these two. At least give support attack. And hopefully we can take this one. It's probably easier said than done, to be fair. We'll give a bit of support attack from another direction. That might be the help that we need. I mean, to be fair, the close air support would probably be the help that we actually need, but it's not really an option right now. And how's the battle for... No, we're not really getting to Harvard. I'm going to cancel that attack. It's a major defeat, but that's 20,000 men that we lost in that assault, and that just didn't go well. We've got quite a few units over here that just need a lot of rest now. We'll try again later. If we can get to the river line at least over here, that'd be helpful. And of course, once we destroy the enemy in... Oh, yeah, there we go. That's another unit destroyed. And they are losing organization faster than they're losing their strength, which is actually exactly what we want to happen. They got lack of supplies now. There we go. Mardianzi is once again under attack, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. And, oh, yeah, there we go. 14, 13 organization. 11.8. So, I believe by the end of the day, this one might be over. 7.1, 6.2. Okay, now nighttime is going to be slowed down. Okay, so it's going to take one more day, but then that's going to be destroyed. And there goes the infantry tanks then. Oh, Huadajen is already under attack by several units. Now, we got some reinforcements heading in there. That one, actually, that is also heading in there. Well, I suppose that can go in there and hold back the enemy for a while. Worry about the continuation of that later. We'll send that one there. This we could probably go ahead and get to the airfield. Unless we need... Well, we could use a bit more troops there. Oh. Okay, we are under attack right now. As soon as we clear out the pocket in here, we might be able to make a tiny pocket of the enemy cavalry unit in here. It's nothing massive, but, you know, every unit that we can destroy permanently from the Japanese is a unit that they won't be getting back anytime soon due to the lack of manpower. I'm going to go ahead and take 2 of these across the... or along the river there. We'll send the 2 infantry divisions across the river into the hills. Then we'll have that surrounded. We can destroy that one relatively easily. Oh, right, so let's go ahead and send in some troops along here. We've got quite a good defenses in HoI already. And since we destroyed the enemy units in here, that's going to be brilliant. That's at least one less enemy to worry about. How are we looking on the southern front line now? So we are still moving these troops in. We've got the light infantry, oh, not the light infantry, naval infantry over here. 20 organization now. We can probably let it rest there for a little bit longer. Then we'll probably send it over here to Ban Nape, just to hold back the enemy for a little while. Then we can maybe send the garrison back. How are we looking in Pakshe? They're down to 5 enemy units attacking. We've got 2 units over here defending now. And the enemy does have a bit of lack of supplies. Do they have lack of supplies on these units? Not yet. But they will probably eventually. Ooh, and there we go. We're doing a bombing run on Halahai. So we can hopefully break the enemy. Although that does mean that the... Well, actually, I'm going to go ahead and stop the bombing runs for a little while. These kind of need to get some organization back. And for that, I might actually just go ahead and send these back to... Well, I suppose that's decent infrastructure in there. It's not that much worse over here. So, no, they can just wait there. But wait for at least a few days to get the organization back. How's their morale, actually? It's 103%, so that's not too shabby. What about the... Yeah, there's 105% on the... Okay, so the planes actually are pretty well on the morale. So if we do have a look at... Yeah, well, we're not quite up to date on the text here, let's be honest. So I'm actually a bit surprised that the numbers are that high. But I'm not complaining. So how soon can we get across the river? Plus, we're getting a bit more troops in here, so we could do a bit of a... Oh, they're doing counterattack again. Well, only for a brief moment. We'll go ahead and send these into Mardianzi. I think it might be time for us to send in a bit of a counterattack on these little buggers over here. So they won't be doing constant counterattacks over here and delaying us further and further. We'll probably go ahead and send in one more unit over here. Of course, these are also heading in there. So we got quite a good strength of units in here. We can maybe push at least a little bit into Korea. If we cut them off over here at Hamhung, that would already be... I mean, they'd still have a one port over there, but that would be only one port. That wouldn't be enough to supply all the troops in there. And then, of course, we can start clearing out some of the Korean peninsula. Maybe not all the way, but at least partially, while we also start pushing north to get Pagam. Oh, right, air combat. Oh, that's the bombers. Right, we are catching them. We're also dealing okay damage, although we're also taking a bit of casualties on our side. But if we can stop them from doing another bombing run anytime soon, that'll already be quite handy. We are still at 106% officer ratio. Now, to be fair, we have increased our army size a little bit. Oh, attacking from Harbin. Well, it should be really easy to defend. They're also starting to move a bit more troops away from this region. Maybe they're realizing that, oh crap, there's quite a push from the south. Go out and cancel that attack. And there we go, we surrounded the enemy. Go out and take, probably these two. And maybe one of these. Give support attack to start clearing out of the cavalry division. They already lack of supplies, and that's not going to get any easier for them. It's cavalry, so it's a very soft target, so they actually take a lot more damage from the artillery and all that. Well, anything that has soft attack, essentially. Hey, cruiser light anti-air artillery, sorry. As advancing. Not that we really have any cruisers yet, but it'll be okay. Is that, no, that's not ahead of time. We've still got 244 texts to research. Now, to be fair, at this point, we can probably go ahead and reduce the officer recruitment down to 15 leadership. We'll still have fairly good amounts incoming, but hopefully it's not going to be quite as bad, and we can get at least 50 research underway at the same time. I'm going to go ahead and move at least one of these to Saku. And then as soon as we cleared out that one, well, I suppose this could actually already go into Sinanju. Because the enemy over here is not gonna, it's probably gonna shatter soon enough anyway. Do we have any more troops in here that, yeah, I suppose we can take another two over there. And then do we have any idols? That's idle, so we can move that in here. I think, well, one of those mountaineers is gonna have to retreat at some point. How's the battle in here? It's not going all that well. I suppose the close air support would be close enough to strike. No, yeah, actually, they are. They are. So we could do something about that. There's quite a counterattack into Huayda's but I think we're mostly going to be fine. We've got the mercenary infantry with the heavy artillery and all that, at least defending, so that should be quite a bit of damage dealt by the troops there. Oh, there we go. Halahai was a victory. So we have pushed them to the river on majority of the front line, at least. Sending one of these to join there. And then we could maybe take one of these other units to go to Huayda's. Oh, communist guerrillas. What is this? Oh, we have a foothold in Taiwan. It's not much to mind you, but it's better than nothing. I'm going to go ahead and cause some shenanigans over there in the meanwhile. And we'll see how much destruction we can sow in there. At least the cavalry division over here is going to probably surrender. It's also a bit low in strength, but I think it's going to run out of organization first. Yeah, there we go. That's destroyed. We'll take another one over here. We'll maybe take another one of the units along there as well. So, oh, there we go. So Saku was a victory. We should be able to overrun probably that garrison, actually. At least it will be pretty close call. Oh, there's a bit of infantry. We might want to dig in over here with some of the troops at least. Although if we can get all the way to Pyongyang, that'd be quite good, actually. So we did overrun that garrison at least. Let's go ahead and send in another one over here to Kusong. And I suppose these three can start doing counterattack in Jinghe. So we can stop that enemy attack from here. Should be relatively easy. We can probably go ahead and pull with one of these mountaineers though. But we have a look at the combat. So they've got actually surprisingly many divisions there. But most of them are very low on organization. I suspect that soon enough they'll start retreating. Do we have, I suppose this one could move over there. That one's moving to the northeast already. We'll send this one southeast. There's no airfields close by over here, which is a bit of a problem. I suppose the closest one's over there, and the enemy's got a lot longer range on their planes than we do. Now, how's the battle in Paksha? Ooh, that light infantry is going to have to retreat soon enough. Alright, well, we've got some troops heading in there, but we might have to give up the province for a little while again. Which means that we'll need to send the interceptors back. Well, we can probably still hold on for a little while, but, you know, that infantry, the light infantry over here is probably going to have to step back soon enough. But at the same time, we have inflicted a lot of casualties on the enemy. There's no denying that. They've still got essentially 4 divisions attacking. There's still that one, or there's the 5th one, but that's not going to last very long, I don't think. Oh, right. I realised we got a resource convoy over here. Right. I suppose this one doesn't really use fuel or supplies. The mobile unit training advanced, there we go. And interceptor tactics advanced. The interceptor efficiency will be a bit better. It's not a huge increase, mind you, but it's still an improvement. We'll send this one down to Sichuan. I suppose we could send these down as well. So we make it to Pyongyang and then start cutting across the peninsula in here. If we can do that, that's going to be probably the end of the armies in Manchuria. Not immediately, but over time at least. Right, I suppose one of the things that I could do, I could just clear out the enemy out on this side of the river at least. They got the mountains in there, so it's going to be a little bit tricky to clear out. Not impossible, mind you, but tricky to say the least. And air combat in HoI. So there we go, we're wrecking some of the enemy bombers in there, although they're still causing some issues, mind you. Did we have any... So we've got the auxiliary vessels in Guangzhou. We're not really in a shape to do any landings in Taiwan yet, but we might want to do that before we get the peace deal with them. Although it's going to be a lot easier said than done. But once we get the naval bombers, we'll be in a lot better shape. We can start doing some port strikes and that sort of things. Clear out the enemy fleet, at least from the vicinity. And then go from there. We can actually go to Anju now. With one of these divisions. And these two are heading southeast. This one could probably get along here to start pushing towards Hamhung. A counterattack into Jinghe is at least underway. We could probably go ahead and give a bit of support attack from here. Just to open up another side of the front line. And then they'll probably start retreating a bit further. Now, it doesn't actually... Right, they got a multiple combat penalty on one of those units still. Most of them aren't really that strong anymore. We may need to stop this attack, though. This is not really going all that well. That's another major defeat. 16,000 men lost there. They start doing some counterattacks, but those we can probably hold back fairly easily. Well, I say that, but I suppose it might not be all that easy in the end. But I suspect that we've at least managed to reach... fairly good positions once more. I'm going to go ahead and take the mercenary infantry, one of these infantry units, and then these two attack into Anda. I think we're going to probably go ahead and push back the enemy from there. One of the other infantry division is already pretty low organization there, so that should be relatively easy to push back. And we've got the envelopment penalty on the enemy, so it should be slightly easier. Mobile unit command and control, so more morale for the mobile units, very nice. And just 5 more days for the infantry corps. I think that's going to have to go to the southern front line though. Because we don't still have a lot of troops in here to do any counterattacks or anything like that. Plus, we kind of could use a bit more troops on the main front line in here for sure. Okay, that one's going to have to pull back. Can we send this one back in? Not really. I suppose we'll at least get that over there, if nothing else. This one's going to be a victory over time, but it's going to take a long while. So yeah, the southern front line definitely needs a bit more troops. Although, how's the situation on the... Okay, so yeah, they're still fighting the Burmese front, but I don't think they have, like, majority of the troops in here are actually on our front line. Plus, oh, okay, Singapore has not fallen yet, at least. That's good. And they still hold on to the initial landing point that they did. Oh, and they're doing, oh, right, they're doing bombing runs over here, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and attack into Uching. Ooh, that's gonna be an immediate victory. There we go. We have managed to make a breakthrough in Korea. Well, okay, that one's going to be... Well, it's not actually that... They've got heavy artillery, though, so that's going to be a little bit painful. I'm going to send one of the units there, another one over here, then we're going to maybe do a counterattack over there and push the enemy back. Hey, major victory. Paralyzed. So we lost 9,000 men, they lost almost 34,000 men. Well, I mean, we were defending mountains, so that kind of makes sense. Torpedo boats level 3 and motor torpedo boats level 3. There we go. Also, Paksha is going to be getting an airfield level soon enough. Well, I suppose if we can hold them back enough so that we can... I'm going to send that all the way, all back to the combat. We could probably send this... Oh, tungsten. We can probably sell tungsten to Saudi Arabia, sure. We should be... Yeah, we're going to be holding on to the ground there, I suppose. I'm going to send this one back to Saravane, or redeploy that to Saravane. And then I'm going to send this one back to Paksha. They only got 4 divisions attacking right now. They've still got supply issues. Fairly heavy supply issues at that. So I don't think it's going to be too rough for us necessarily. And then if we can just get some more troops into combat, we can send this one back into the combat, I suppose. So there we go. So that should be pretty decent. But with that, we are unfortunately out of time with this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, check out the links down below in the description. But after that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.